Good morning. This is Dr. Timothy Scott Beck here at Life Point Medical, and I want to say thank you for listening to me today. It is April the 21st of 2025, and spring is definitely in the air, and I'm so happy for that. It's amazing. But also what's happening in this area is there's a lot of road construction north of town on 441. So my nurses and my staff were like, hey, could you remind everybody to compensate for the travel time coming up from North Carolina. Of course, if travel time ends up being an issue with your appointment, we want to let you let us know, okay? Because we're going to try to help you with that. We're not there, but if you could do for me is to go ahead and try to think of it in advance and see what it's going to look like that for you that day. Because I know there's significant delays. I know it's unpredictable. And I know there's not a lot of easy ways around what they're doing. But I do believe whatever the thing they're doing needs to be done. So just want to let you guys know about that. With springtime, I was talking to my staff, talking about allergy stuff or something like that. And they're like, remind everybody, we've already seen some people with some poison ivy stuff coming through. And, you know, as springtime comes along, I like to get out and work in this stuff. And inevitably, I will get a rash at times because I touched something that I shouldn't have. And that's usually poison ivy. So if you or poison ivy, poison oak, and I think poison sumac is another thing around here. If you know you've been exposed, the number one thing you should do as soon as possible is wash that area off with soap and water. You also would be able to wash your clothes if you've been exposed in hot water, and then eventually, if you've been exposed and you didn't remove the antigens with the soap and water, you'll about 2 to 3 days, you'll start getting a rash. Okay, usually it's a delayed type hypersensitivity, and it takes a while to get to there. But when that comes, that's where we can step in and we can give you treatment for that, including topical. A lot of times we'll need to examine you and make sure it's not too much. And sometimes we get people who are just eat up with this stuff from head to toe. So just let us know, and we can make an appointment for you if you get it. But the first thing I want you to do, if you know you've been exposed, is to go ahead and use soap and water and try to remove it. And then the last thing I want to say is I've just got reports this morning from a couple more of my patients who've been scammed. And the scamming in this community, and it's probably not just our community, I think it's the whole country, is absolutely heartbreaking. And they are preying on elderly people. And I beg you, if you get a call where they're wanting you to pay for something, particularly I think the key thing with one of these is a lot of times they'll want you to get a card, like a bank card or a gift card, and give them the numbers off of it so that they can steal that money from you. It's happening a lot. And it looks like they're preying on older people. So if you got people asking for money, if they're wanting you to get a certain kind of card for it, don't go for it. And I've always been scammed too, okay? So I'm vulnerable to foolishness sometimes. But anyway, just work on that. Be vigilant. If your grandparents talk to them about this, make sure they're not getting scammed. That's what really scares me is a lot of the people that are getting scammed aren't aware of it, and their families are having to run cover for them. So, one of the common ones is a Publishers Clearinghouse sweepstakes. Another one that I think they can do that I've been hearing about is where they fake a family member's voice over the phone, and then and what to do there if your grandson or somebody calls you and says he needs money for if he's in legal trouble or something like that, ask him if you can call him back. I think that's a good safeguard. And then you call back your relative and ask them if they're the ones asking for money. And that's been the best way I've known to combat that particular situation. Always let law enforcement know if you're having a problem there and see if they can help us with it, okay? Anyway, if you got medical problems, we're here to help you. Hey, with all this pollen in the air, okay, there's lots of thick pollen in the air. The biggest thing you can do is keep your nasal passages clean with saline, okay? Even if you're not allergic to anything, using those saline washes is the best thing you can do to prevent you from having an infection. Thank you so much for listening to me. My number is 706-782-0016. We want to hear from you. Go to our website at drtsbeck.com. You can go there and even use our little chat bot to ask for an appointment and ask to be seen. Thank you so much for listening to me. Have a great day.